Hello, I'm Frank Duff, the Chief Innovation Officer at Tidal Cyber. I'm pleased to introduce a series of fireside chats entitled We Got This Covered on Attack Coverage Introspection. I decided to put on this talk series because attack coverage has been a subject of a lot of debate, and rightfully so. There are many good things about it, and for that matter, good ways to use it, but there's also very bad ways. I thought a great way to explore this is by talking with the vendors who are working on these balances of this every day with end users, their tech teams, and marketing teams. But what is attack coverage? Well, attack coverage is a concept that in many ways predates attack itself. Back when I was at MITRE, we were researching post-exploit detection. I was developing analytics with a team of researchers using new technology, and our red team was coming in to validate them. You can read more on these early days of attack and threat-informed defense in a blog I wrote earlier this year, but a key point is that we needed a way of communicating results to leadership. What emerged was an early version of attack, which happened to be living in an Excel spreadsheet, as any good tool does. And the natural next step was coloring it with red, yellow, or green to show how we performed. As attack gained in popularity, this stoplight chart model was a use case that was a major component of all the marketing we were doing, which led to its formal name of attack coverage. But with this effective communication device came misuse and overgeneralization. Users and marketing alike started to strive for all green so they could declare themselves winners and problem solved. But as our knowledge of threats evolved, it was obvious that all green is an overly aggressive goal to shoot for, and instead fostered distrust in industry. There were simply too many techniques and variations, so-called procedures, to make all green credible, and instead what green even was became the heart of many discussions and questions. But this doesn't mean that attack coverage visualizations and calculations aren't useful. They're still effective, as they always have been, at summarizing how your defense is aligned to your threats at a high level. Where you have gaps, where you have strengths, but you need to strike that balance between overgeneralization and diminished value and accuracy. Figuring out the balance can be hard, but this was the main driver for why I and my other two co-founders left MITRE earlier this year to found Tidal Cyber. At Tidal, our mission is to make threat-informed defense both practical and sustainable. This means giving users the tools and data that they need so that they can understand their threats that matter to them, how to defend against them, and what they can do to improve. Practical and sustainable are key words I just said there. A couple aspects of this relevant to today's conversation is that we want to make attack more accessible, and coverage means something to the end user. Threat-informed defense starts with attack, but it doesn't end there. Today's users leverage tools and data across the attack ecosystem, including those provided by both open source and commercial capabilities. For the vast majority of users, even those who follow attack closely and would be considered advanced users, knowing what exists, or even more so how to leverage these capabilities, is really too hard. Requiring everyone to be an expert in attack to leverage the benefits of threat-informed defense isn't practical. So at Tidal, we offer both services and a product that will enable organizations to improve their ability to be threat-informed. But that is only part of our mission. We also want to be able to help the global user community, extend the great things that attack and its practitioners have been doing for years, and a mission we really still believe in, even at Tidal. To achieve this broader objective of global impact, we have a community edition. While the community edition is initially being released to assist in that knowledge-based exploration use case, we have features in the pipeline that will really enable you to make attack yours. To emphasize one point that the knowledge-based exploration is providing, it's free to the community. It's meant to take the data from attack and provide enrichments to hopefully make the data more actionable. This includes additional information around threats, analytics developed by the community, and most significantly, a Tidal curated product registry. The product registry is a vendor-submitted repository of attack mappings, how they mitigate, protect, detect, respond, or even test against adversary behaviors. But this brings us back to the main topic that we're going to be discussing in this fireside chat series, which is attack coverage. Vendors have been showing their attack coverage for years, and these coverage graphs are usually embroiled in controversy. People think vendors are lying, vendors claim that they are accurate, and you just need to know the details. And this is where Tidal comes into the story. We're using the product registry to give vendors a platform to disclose their attack mappings and to build confidence for their end users. We give the vendors a platform to not only say how they map, but what they map to. This how is a key to allowing an end user to understand the vendor's approach and assess whether it's something that the end user has, whether they could have it, or whether they even want it. It is built on the trust of the vendors, and the amount of details exposed we expect to increase only over time, though we'll walk that road with the vendors and the community alike. But we think it is a hugely important program for the community to bring transparency to how vendors address adversary behaviors. In this fireside chat series, I'll be discussing attack coverage with these vendors that are giving us their data, as we move out together to push the attack community and defenders forward with their threat-informed defense mission. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.